Hello. I did not think I would be making another video this week, but something has come to my attention. I thought I should talk about it. So, I think 13 days ago, as of when I'm recording this voiceover, Josh Qualtieri, the creator of Quar, went onto a podcast called Slam Sector and talked about some new Quar stuff, some old Quar stuff, just a lot about like background of, I guess, his life, of Quar in general, like the whole processes behind like his idea and thoughts for the game, and then also how it's produced. It's super interesting. Like, go check it out. I'll link it below. But there's also kind of some discussions about future releases, and this isn't just resin stuff. This is hard plastics. So it's more of an insight than we've got from just the War Games Atlantic kind of release calendar. So I'll play some clips of it, but effectively, we already know that Westline Yaren's the tractors for the Royalists and Crusaders, and then eventually Creven are coming out in the near future. But it's stated here that in the interview that the tractors are probably June's release, but who knows? And that also decals from War Games Atlantic for the Quar will be out soon-ish. It's all kind of a very not sketchy time frame. It's all kind of up in the air. Nothing's like confirmed, but all of it's coming out at some point.
It'll probably be two a month. It'll probably be two next month, and one the month after. But it might be a big one. And if it's not a big one, then the big one will be in August. Um, and then the plan is to try to do two a month at least through the end of the year.
So this is saying that two hard plastic releases each month with a big one in July, August. So I'll get into what the big one will be. Like, you'll understand, I think. But the two each month, we know that we've had command squads for each side, like Crusader Cortherians. The idea is that there'll be two each month, sometimes one, until the end of the year at least, which is cool. That's what we want. That's exciting. In terms of MyMiniFactory, it is mentioned that there will be new Gloam stuff. So a command squad is mentioned, a new vehicle is mentioned, as well as some stuff that is previewed, which I will be showing on screen now. But there is this thing, which is called a police vehicle. So I don't know if that goes into the civilian aspect or play for either side. But these are all work in progress renders, so stuff might be changed, and there's no concrete time frame when these are coming out. But Josh was just asked about some of his favorite stuff. So there's that. There's also this Fidwog massive transport, which is hilarious. Um, Very funny. I guess the idea is that you can fit a lot of guys and probably these scout tractors in there, and then also this vehicle for the Fidwog miners, which is so fun. Look at it. It is hilarious. One of my favorite things. I'm buying 20 of them. And also this sketch for a tractor, which is also Fidwog. So Fidwog fans, aka me, are eating good soon.
The big thing that's this summer is a new starter set
Oh.
with different factions in it and an updated rule book. And then soon after that, and so that'll be another quick start book that doesn't have all the rules in it. And then soon after that, probably the month after that, will be a standalone hardback that will have the full rules, which will add like tractors.
So basically, as you can see there, this summer, this is huge news. There'll be a new starter box with new quick start rules, kind of collating all of the addendum stuff with two new hard plastic factions, which is crazy. As said, there'll be a new hardback rulebook the month after the quick start rules are released, which will be more in depth, but the same vibe with like tractor rules and also lore, which is very exciting. Love lore updates. So that's very exciting for everyone. So there'll be ways to just like get into the game with the quick start stuff, and then also if anyone wants to like, I don't know, my brain gets a bit muddled with lots and lots of rules, uh, but definitely something to get into.
I will say it'll be completely new models you've never seen.
Oh,
Okay, new plastics. Let's go.
All right.
So it's
Um,
not just going to be the Crusaders again or the Koftirans. We're not going to throw a Fidwog frame in there. It'll be 2 new factions.
Looking at possible new factions in the new launch set, there are a few options with various levels of possibility in my mind. So obviously we know it's not going to be Crusader, Fidwog, or Koftirans. So the first option is it's a faction that has some resin releases already, but they haven't had that jump over to hard plastic. So it depends what they mean by it's a new thing. Obviously, like for example, this includes Gwent, maybe Gloamhin, Tolmore's got resin kits, and it's like obviously I don't think the Gloamers are a big enough faction to warrant. I think they're the least likely to get a full plastic like in a launch box, but they are some of the coolest models. And then on the other side of it, I'm just not sure it's going to be something that is accessible in resin right now. I don't think it's just going to be like a refresh. I think it's more likely to be something that hasn't had much in resin at all, and definitely no plastic. So next we could go to kind of assuming it's the current Crusade. So I guess on the Crusader side of it, yeah, Mebrek, Yaski's Crusader. Or Chris is, but it's more. I think there's been some uprisings there in the current setting. Same with like Lower Barrow, Upper Barrow. We could get a more neutral faction, like I guess Aber, but that seems unlikely. What seems possibly the most likely for me is that maybe we're going to see the stuff that we can already look at on Wargames Atlantic that's coming in the next few months. We can see that there's Western Oniaran stuff and Creven on the way. These technically would be 2 factions that we have not seen in plastic. They're 2 morally ambiguous factions, 2 of the bigger land masses. It would make sense that they're fighting with each other as Abba's in between them. There's definitely the background in the lore that Western Oniarans, like land trains from Western Oniaran, move into Abba, then Creven, and then Mebrek. And that's where they're taking the biggest losses at the moment. So that to me would make the most sense. It just depends if it's something that we can see coming, because that's on the release radar for Wargames Atlantic, or it's something that we just don't have any clue about at all. Which I guess that would be the final few factions, like just a shot in the dark, like a Sleeven mentioned W, or a Nadio, or a Shram. I can never say Shram. Can you tell I'm looking at a map? So there are a few places that we've seen very little from. I'm not even sure there's like art of some of the riflers from these areas. But I would say for me, most likely is a Creven Western Yaran, but maybe not. If not, maybe a Mebrek. Either way, very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's to some new aesthetics. I'd love to see some polar Quar. Give me some Quar in like a parka, in like a big woolly outfit. I want to make some Quar in the snow. Either way. Otherwise mentioned is that coming out this time next year will be a like the rule set and game system for the mass battles. So at the minute there's skirmishes, and that'll be refreshed, like I said, in August potentially. But then this time next year, the rules should drop. Who knows? Because it's been pushed back already, and it's a very busy time for the mass battles. So that'll be at the minute you're fighting 10 Quar against 10 Quar and maybe a tractor. This is for like mass battles, multiple tractors, multiple other vehicles, lots of infantry. Be a lot of fun. So that'll be fun to see. And mentioning that is the confirmation that there will be aircraft, so some smaller plane-like things, which are called kites, and potentially in the future a smaller airship. So all very exciting stuff on the way at some point. And again, go check out for yourself this interview. There's a lot. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long. It's really worth watching or listening to.